Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy first trailer. Now, this isn't even a teaser. I figured they put out a teaser before they put out the trailer. Though really, it is more of a teaser because they really don't explain anything. It's all vibes. And you know how Marvel does their trailer order. The first trailer is vibes. It's tone. It's what we're going for. And in the case of most of the movies, it was what they were going for. And in most Marvel movies, it was what they were going for. I would probably say the trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever was exactly the tone of the movie. Like what you felt, the emotions you felt watching that trailer, you could translate those over to the movie. And this Guardian trailer conveyed what we kind of already knew, which is this is going to still be Guardians. There's still going to be some hilarious moments at like the first I laughed so hard because it was such a Drax moment when they land on a planet and they're like, we mean you no harm, and a little girl, you've seen this scene in a billion movies. The kids throw the ball at the person and the person just throws the ball back to them to let them know, I understand you, I'm like you, I'm normal like you. Drax didn't get that memo and decided to beam the ball back into the little girl's face. I laughed. And not just because it was hilarious and unexpected, but also because it does feel like something little kid me would have done in elementary school or middle school, is beam someone right in the face with the fucking ball while in PE, probably playing dodgeball to anyone, no matter their gender or size. Beam right in the fucking face. So, like, that kind of hit me on a visceral level. But either way, that whole thing was funny and the people throwing stuff at him. So it started with a really funny bit to kind of let you know right up top, at least the vibe I got, that we're still going to have fun here. This is still going to be batshit. This is still going to be funny. But underneath it all, and maybe not so deep underneath it all, there is this very somber, and I tweeted about it, last ride vibe. Like, it reminds me a teeny bit like the trailers, it reminds me a little bit, just a little bit, of the entire ending sequence of Fast. I can't remember which Fast and Furious it was. Was it Fast 7? Was it Fast 9? It was like the one where Paul Walker was in it and he had just passed away. You know, we all remember that, like the ending of that, the song and everything. It reminds me a bit of that, the vibe of the trailer, of like, this is it. And you feel like this is it. It will never be the same again after this. It will never be what it once was. Similar to Endgame. It will never be whatever it used to be after this film. Whatever it becomes, it won't be this. And there are most definitely going to be some deaths. Drax is going to die. And not just because thematically, it makes a bit of sense to kill Drax, but also because of outside of the world, Dave Bautista is, if he wasn't bitching about how he was written, even though James Gunn wrote his character, and I don't understand why he didn't bitch at James Gunn about how his character was written, I digress. James Gunn could have easily made Guardians of the Galaxy 2 about Drax and his revenge. Or he could have easily, but he didn't. So, hey, blame James. He won't, but we know who the real culprit is behind his frustrations. But not only that, but when he's not doing that, he's also talking about how he feels like physically he is getting too old to play the character. And that, which is ridiculous, because Dave Bautista still looks like insanely jacked and insane great shape, but he's always talking about how physically he doesn't think he can do it forever. He wants to become an actor. He wants to do more dramatic stuff and, not just be. So mentally he's out and he's already bitching. So Drax is on his way out. Drax is easily dead. Outside of Drax, there's a potential for Rocket. There's obviously the potential for Star-Lord, who's the leader of the who's the leader of the Guardians. There are a couple characters who I don't think are gonna die. There are two characters in particular who I think are in the clear because there's no point. Like, you wouldn't do it twice, you know? Like, what's the point of even doing it twice? One, they're not gonna kill Groot. Groot already died. He already had a huge emotional death. I don't think you can be able to get that again. So they're not gonna kill Groot. They're not gonna kill Gamora. Once again, she had a huge emotional death, and it wasn't even that long ago. They're not gonna kill her again. So Gamora and Groot are solid. Nebula, probably solid. She just reached the end of her arc. So, you know, maybe it's not time yet to kill Nebula. She still got more to give. But outside of that, man, like I said, the rest of the crew could die. Rocket could easily die in this. But I don't think Rocket's gonna die because they're doing the high evolutionary. And if you know anything about the high evolutionary in the comics, high evolutionary is fucking weird in the comics. It's weird. It's literally, he's a dude who was like, I want to evolve things, people and things, and he was just a normal dude, and it's weird. High evolutionary is weird. I think they're gonna make it more simple and make him just some mad scientist who's been experimenting on people. And the Rocket origin in the comics and in the video game, the Telltale video game, it's very sad. You know, Rocket has a very sad origin. There's a reason he's the way he is. You know, when you meet people who have like, who act the way that Rocket acts, who have a self-destructive nature and, you know, and just have a hard time trusting people and are real crotchety, most of the time, that's not from nowhere. They're not just born crotchety. Usually, they're not just born, you know, just born worried and born crotchety and, you know, born, you know, like that. Usually it comes from somewhere, a trauma that you didn't know, but you don't know about. They don't talk about it, but it comes from a trauma. And Rocket's trauma was brought up in Guardians 2. It really was. It was hinted in Guardians 1. It was brought up again with him and Yondu and their relationship in Guardians 2. And now it's going to be on full display here, which is the High Evolutionary kidnapped him when he was a baby and did awful, brutal experiments to him. Experiments that altered him, that hurt him, that was basically torture to him. But he survived it. And him, and I couldn't believe, is it sad that the thing I'm most excited for in a movie that finally has shown Adam Warlock, which is very cool to see Adam Warlock. There wasn't enough in there to really give any indication of how I should feel about him, but I am happy Adam Warlock's here. This is really cool. But I'm more excited for Layla. Lila, I think it's Lila, the otter. Now, if you've read the books or, like I said, you played the Telltale game, you know that he had a very, that Rocket was the only one to make it out of that fucking facility. And Lila was someone who was, he fell in love with. She was his lover. She didn't make it. Now, I don't want to spoil anything. Oh, I guess I did just spoil something. But it's a very emotional sequence. It's a very emotional sequence. I'm sorry for spoiling that, people. I couldn't help myself because I know it and it's in the comics. It's in the video game. It's something out there. I don't know if they said who's going to voice her, though, but I digress. We know that he had that origin was pretty tragic for him. That origin was pretty tragic for him. But I'm happy to see Lila the Otter. Like, I can't wait to see who they get to voice him. It's gonna be an emotion. That whole Rocket's backstory thing is gonna be real emotional. It really is. And for that alone, I don't think Rocket's gonna die because he's literally confronting the man who tortured him, who made him what he is. And it would be a bit who potentially caused the trauma that made him who he is. And it would be kind of weird for him to die afterwards, after facing that guy. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't make a lick of sense. Like, to me personally, I'm not sure it would make a lot of sense for him to die after that. So I don't think Rocket's gonna die because it does seem like the main villain is directly connected to him and whatnot. He's confronting him. He's getting vengeance on him. It would feel real weird for him to die after that. It's like, no, Rocket's gotta live afterwards so that he can breathe free air, like air without being traumatized by this man anymore. So Rocket's gotta live. I'm not sure about Star-Lord, though. I'm not sure. Granted, you feel like he has to live because he has to rekindle this thing with Gamora, and they showed Gamora, but it's curious of how they're gonna fall in love again. Which you get the feeling they are gonna fall in love again, but it's just like I say, there really wasn't a lot of hints of how that's gonna go down. But all being said, it feels like this is going to be a very emotional movie. It feels like it's going to be a movie that really feels like the end of the line for these characters. Now, I don't think this is the end of the line of the Guardians. I do think that there will be at least a couple, like three to four Guardians who live through the film, who will go on to start a new Guardians group. I do think the movie will literally end with them saying we need to go recruit more, we need to go on a recruit. Because the Guardians have a lot of members. Like in the comics, Adam Warlock's a Guardian, Nova's a Guardian at certain points, Iron Man's a Guardian. The Guardians have a lot of have a lot of members that haven't even been introduced into the MCU. Quasar, Starbrand. Like there's a lot of characters that have been a part of the Guardians that haven't been introduced yet. So it's nothing for them to get other members to come in and to do this, kind of be Avengers style, have the OG Avengers teaming with the new rookies, and have like Rock, and have some of the older members. Like I say, some members are gonna die, and some members might just retire. Like I could see Star-Lord just leaving the Guardians and just becoming the owner of Nowhere. That could happen. Him getting Gamora back and him just selling down to Nowhere and just running Nowhere, and like the Guardians is just Rocket, Groot, Nebula, and Mantis, and whoever they decide to go recruit. Or maybe Adam Warlock by the end of the movie joins them. That could be interesting. Like I said, he is a well-known member of the Guardians. But either way, by death or not, I expect about half of the group to be gone, and I expect them to end the movie with them going, we need to go recruit, and maybe even a tease to Nova. That would be cool. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but maybe a tease to Nova. And then it's just who's gonna take over. Who's gonna be willing to take over that mantle? Who's gonna be willing to direct a new trilogy of Guardians of the Galaxy? Because you bet your ass they're not gonna stop making it. Guardians of the Galaxy is a $1 billion franchise. Just because James Gunn's leaving don't mean you gotta stop making them. Now, you gotta establish that the new movie's tone's gonna be completely different. It's going to be, not completely different, it's going to be different. It's going to be going for a different vibe. You have to really set that off and really establish that first. But after that, the Guardians will continue. It may even be something a little bit more serious. Who knows? But either way, I enjoyed the fuck out of this trailer. I'm very excited for this. May 6th is coming, and I can't wait for it to get here. And it was thank you guys for the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. What did you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer? I thought it was heartbreaking. I'm real sad right now. See ya.